Thank you. Okay, so we have an objector. Mr. Anderson, is that yourself, sir? Okay. You've probably got the gist of it by now. You've got 3 minutes to address the committee. We'll remind you when you have 30 seconds. And I'll invite the members to ask questions when you've finished. So when you're ready, sir, if you just press the button.
Hello. Good evening. I've lived in Diggle 47 years. My 3 children and my grandchildren all went to Diggle Primary and Saddleworth secondary schools. Why have we not yet got a new school for your children, the school that they deserve? Why are they now taught in a neglected slum of a school? Why those years of neglect? Why only repair and maintenance being done, no actual preventative maintenance being done? I would support the building of a new school in Diggle site if there was a clear and safe access road to and from the school. This might require some expense of demolitions. A very simple logic diagram will show why we're here. Why are we here? These traffic proposals are predicated by a school on the site. Why is there a school on that site? The Diggle School is predicated on a land swap deal. Why? The land swap deal offers executive houses to be built in the present school site. My question to the Council is this: has that approval been applied for and given in advance, and if so, how? What guarantee is there that houses will be built on the present site? In this design, there has been no consultation with emergency services. Existing signs direct emergency services along Huddersfield Road to Sam Road for access to canal and railway tunnels. These will also apply to the Diggle Primary School, the daycare centre in the centre of the village, and the 1,500 pupils at the new school, if built. Current traffic plans will obstruct that access.
30 seconds.
There is a 100% chance that there will be traffic jams at the entrance to the turning circle. 15 minutes is a long time when someone is trying to get to work. The frustrations caused will be danger to children. In a traffic jam, not yet in the turning circle, children will jump out of the car and walk to school if the weather's fine. If it's not, they won't bother going to school at all. I think we need to have another look at this whole idea of narrowing the road and putting traffic lights there. And my strongest contention about that issue is emergency vehicle access. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Can I invite Councillor Byrne to address? Oh, I do apologise. Are there any questions to Mr. Anderson? Councillor Davis?
I'm just. Do you think it'll help the situation with all the off-street parking for the residents?
I don't see why that's an issue. That will be a benefit, obviously, for just the general flow of traffic in the day-to-day business. But to absolutely design a blockage to access for emergency vehicles is certainly to my mind, an indication of either blind ignorance or a lack of understanding. When I can see from my house periodically the emergency vehicles testing their access. They actually run up to the tunnels and run away again to prove the road is open. I ask, if not a fire engine or an ambulance going up and down that road, what if one's going in one direction and one's going in the other? I've just rescued some kids that are badly burnt. I'm trying to get them to hospital, and I run straight into a fire engine trying to get to the school, where the fire might well be, not necessarily in the tunnels. Are we talking about helicopters here? I don't know. I certainly wouldn't like to have to answer for that in the future. This is a look of Grenfell Towers about it, where in the future, negligence in the design stage, ignorance and obfuscation have caused a building to kill 70-odd people in London. Some of these councillors are today being investigated for criminal negligence. It's not illegal to be stupid. It's not illegal to be incompetent. It's not illegal to obfuscate to achieve your objective. But what is illegal is the consequences of actual damage being done to people because of your actions. Then you are liable. The way the current world is moving is towards holding officers accountable for their actions. And in some cases, as we see at Grenfell, police investigations of potential criminality. Well, again, I understand not all people involved in this design are experts. Not all of them are part of a group that would lie and obfuscate to achieve an objective. You might call it a tribal objective. Looking dispassionately at that traffic design, I wouldn't like to be held responsible for the first major accident where emergency vehicles were blocked from attending. The last accident that happened in the Diggle tunnels is not that many years ago. So don't believe anybody who tells you there's not been an accident there for the last 50 years, because the answer to that is, tell me there won't be one tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you. Does that answer your question?
I don't think you answered the question really, but I just would have thought it would have made the situation better with the off-street parking, that's all. I didn't know whether you agreed with that or not.
I think that, yes, I think the off-street, taking cars off the street and putting them into, that would be nice to have, you know, never mind the school. I would support building houses on that pallet factory site there, and I would support, if houses were built down there, we wouldn't have a rush hour. People would be coming and going all throughout the day. It'd be lovely to have a nice clear road in and out of Diggle, people parking off the street, and I could move down the hill to a nice little house in the pallet works. Thank you very much. So, yes, I take your point. It's nice to get an open road. But to get an open road that's one track, one way, is a totally different matter.
Could I just ask, sir, at the moment, that's virtually what you have, haven't you? Because you have parked cars both
Yes.
sides. And I wonder who would be responsible if an ambulance full of burnt children was travelling one way and a fire engine was coming the other, and all the people's double parked. I mean, surely it's better to have a system one way where at least you can clearly see vehicles up the other side. Every time I've been to site, I've had to wait quite a while until somebody will let me through. So,
I agree with you. I agree with you. It would be nice to have a nice clear road in and out of Diggle all the time. That doesn't need to have a school behind it. That could be houses down there in that valley. Floodplain or no floodplain, people would live there quite happily in nice little houses. One for me, especially. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Are there any more? Oh, sorry, I've got two people. Councillor Leach first, and then Councillor Hudson.
I live in Upper Mill, and I have lived in Diggle. And the traffic on the main roads through Upper Mill at school opening times and closing times is just as bad, if not worse, than the traffic we would expect, controlled traffic that we would expect with the proposal we have in front of us. Would you not agree with that?
Yes. I would say, why take an existing problem which is very prevalent in Upper Mill today? You've only got to look at Pick Mill at the time of pickups in the evening, the congestion there. It's just one example. And that school at the moment's got at least 5 different pathways in and out of it. The new school at Diggle will have 1. Now then, why take an existing problem and move it into a one-way cul-de-sac and make it worse? That's my answer to that one. I don't deny there's problems in Upper Mill.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a simple question. Are you saying, or do you remember anybody having an heart attack in Diddle, particularly at Shaw's Pallet Works? And do you honestly say that the ambulance didn't get through and didn't get the fire engine through to fires in Diddle? Because they did. And I can tell you there were a lot of heavy traffic came to Shaw's Pallet Works before, which doesn't come now. And if anything, taking cars off the road will be an advantage. And it's an advantage to those people that are getting. I wish OMBC would make me a place to park. It would put a lot on my house. Do you agree?
Excuse me, Councillor Hudson, kindly pay attention when I'm talking. I've already made that point. I agree.
I give my attention to the meetings regular, and I have done for 40-odd years.
I've already made that point, that I would like to see traffic off the road, parking facilities, and
what about the emergency services?
And build houses on the site.
Get through.
Please,
They've got
two lanes of traffic.
Please let the gentleman finish.
Do you understand? Please, the point I'm making quite, I hope, clearly is 2 lanes of traffic allows manoeuvrability beyond the scope of a single lane in a cul-de-sac. Once you're in it, you can't turn about and get out. You've got to keep going over the moors. Now then, I would like to see houses rather than a school, because I think the school is dangerous. Dangerous from the point of view that children, if you look at Upper Mill today, children are spread around from the school site right down to the canal bridge at Wharf End there, another way, waiting for buses, pushing and shoving, jostling. Here's a big bus coming, I'll give you a shove. Ha! You're lucky you missed you. That happens all the time. That's the way kids are. You're inviting that kind of, not hooliganism, just jostling at a turning circle in a traffic jam that might only last 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a long time if you're under the wheels of a bus. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, I tell you wrong. 5 minutes is a long time when you have cancer, but I managed to cope with it.
Okay, I don't think we're getting anywhere with that line of that set of questions. I've got 2 other people indicating questions. Councillor Kumar and then Councillor Gloucester.
Yeah, I think first of all I'm going to start by saying I'm appalled that you've actually mentioned Greenfield in this conversation about this application, this school. Absolutely appalled with that. Secondly, like I said before, I'm a parent who actually drops his children off at this school, and can I actually welcome the drop-off area and the design that the school have come up with, especially the part-time drop-off if you need to take your PE kits out and stuff, because I am one of those parents whose kids do decide to try and jump out of a moving car as I approach the school. and I'll be screaming at them to not jump out, and they're forgetting the PE bags and have nowhere to turn and absolutely no way to shout them back to take the PE kits. So can I just actually thank the school and thank the head teacher for doing all the hard work and to keeping that in focus, that issue exists at the school at the moment, and try to alleviate parents from
Okay,
that
thank you,
problem.
Councillor Kumar, but this is a section for questions to the objector, but thank you. Councillor Gloucester.
Sorry, mine wasn't actually a question for the objector. I just wondered if we could... Oh, that's what I was going to ask to say. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions? Councillor Akhtar.
Mr Anderson, you mentioned that the fact that you prefer houses built on that particular site. So in your opinion, how many houses would you get on that particular site?
Quite a few, I've no idea.
When you say
The actual number, I don't know the number, but... hello?
I'm not sure it's relevant, but I think I know the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, but in my opinion, you probably could build about 100 houses on there. And considering where the site is and the price of the houses that would be sold on that particular site, you're looking at each house having 2 to 3 cars. So that would be, what, 300 or more cars? And you would prefer more houses, more vehicles going onto that particular site on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, rather than coping with a half an hour during our drop-off.
That's exactly the point.
But it's just...
That's exactly the point. The half hour would be the emergency half hour of obstructions and traffic jams. The 24 hours, people come and go as they will. They're not constrained to getting to work.
Okay.
Between 9 and 10.
Unless there are any more questions, we'll wind it up there. Thank you, sir. You've put your point across quite ably. Councillor Byrne.